The planet bled. A tide of green had consumed its surface, a churning sea of muscle and steel. Orcs, in their inexhaustible numbers, had descended upon this world with their usual crude violence. Their wah echoed across the shattered plains, a cacophony of war cries and crude engines. The air itself reeked of their passing, a noxious blend of smoke, sweat, and something altogether alien. Yet, amidst the devastation, a single point of unyielding defiance remained. A skeletal ziggurat, its once gleaming metal now dulled and scarred, pierced the smoke-filled sky. This was no mere relic of a bygone age. It was a beacon, a focal point for something far grander, far more terrifying than the green tide could ever comprehend. Upon this monument of a forgotten empire stood a figure of ancient power. Orikan the Diviner, his skeletal form wreathed in crackling energy, observed the unfolding carnage. He had foreseen this moment, had calculated its arrival with the precision only a being who had tasted the secrets of time itself could possess. The orcs, for all their savagery, were but pawns in a grander cosmic game. And he, Orikan, was about to make his move. The ziggurat thrummed with power, ancient machinery, silent for millennia, whirred back to life, its metallic groans echoing the approaching storm. Orikan paid it no heed. His single glowing eye, a window into the infinite depths of his mind, remained fixed on the heavens. He saw not the carnage below, not the desperate struggle of flesh and steel. His gaze pierced the veil of the material, soared through the immaterium, and locked onto a celestial event of unimaginable significance. A rare conjunction of stars, a cosmic ballet of celestial bodies was about to unfold, and Orikan, the master of time and fate, was at its epicenter. He had manipulated events, nudged timelines, and orchestrated countless seemingly insignificant actions to bring about this moment. The orcs, in their ignorance, had merely served as unwitting tools, their wah a mere catalyst for something far grander. A low hum emanated from Orikan's skeletal frame, resonating with the growing energy of the approaching celestial event. His body, a masterpiece of Necron technology, strained against the influx of cosmic power, its metallic joints groaning under the weight of his impending transformation. He was a conduit, a lightning rod about to be struck by the very power of the stars. The sky ripped open, not with the roar of thunder or the crackle of lightning, but with an eerie silence that swallowed all sound. A tear appeared in the fabric of reality, a black void rimmed with swirling iridescent light. From this wound in the heavens poured a torrent of raw cosmic energy, a kaleidoscope of colors unseen by mortal eyes. Orikan, still atop his skeletal perch, became a beacon for this celestial maelstrom. Energy surged into him, coursing through his ancient frame, overloading circuits and pushing his being to the very brink of disintegration. His metallic body, once cold and inert, blazed with an otherworldly light. He was no longer merely a Necron, a being of cold intellect and calculated action. He was a conduit, a vessel for the unbridled power of the cosmos. And as this energy coursed through him, it twisted and reshaped him, pushing his understanding of time and fate to unimaginable levels. The line between flesh and metal, between being and energy, blurred and dissolved. Orikan was becoming something more, something beyond comprehension. The transformation was swift, brutal, and absolute. When the light subsided, Orikan stood taller, his skeletal frame now sheathed in a shimmering aura of celestial energy. His single eye blazed with the intensity of a supernova, its gaze capable of piercing the veil of time itself. He raised his hands, now crackling with raw power, and the very air around him thrummed with anticipation. Below, the orc horde, oblivious to the cosmic drama unfolding above, continued their rampage. Their crude weapons clashed against the silent defenses of the Necron tombs, their guttural war cries echoing through the ruined landscape. They were a tide of green, relentless and unstoppable, until Orikan moved. With a gesture, a simple flick of his wrist, he unleashed the unimaginable power now coursing through him. Beams of pure energy, crackling with temporal distortions, lanced out from his fingertips, each one aimed with the precision of a master strategist. Where they struck, reality itself seemed to unravel. Orcs, caught in the blast, were not merely incinerated. They were unmade, their very existence erased as if they had never been. The ground rippled and buckled under the onslaught. Entire formations of orcs vanished, their crude vehicles twisted and mangled by forces they could not comprehend. The air itself crackled and popped, the very fabric of reality groaning under the weight of Orikan's power. He was no longer merely fighting. He was rewriting the battlefield, erasing his enemies from existence with each thought. The Wa, that primal roar that had driven the orcs across the galaxy, faltered. For the first time, true fear, the kind that chills even the most savage heart, gripped the green tide. Their crude minds, incapable of comprehending the cosmic horror unfolding before them, could only register that something was terribly, terribly wrong. Orikan, however, was far from finished. He raised his hands once more, and the very planet seemed to shudder beneath his feet. From deep within the earth where the orcs had burrowed and spread their foul spores, a wave of energy erupted. It was not a blast, not an explosion, but a silent, invisible wave of annihilation that spread outwards with terrifying speed. Where it touched, all life, all trace of the orc infestation simply ceased to be. The spores that had taken root, the foul growths that choked the once fertile land, withered and died. The very air, thick with the stench of the orcs, cleared, leaving behind an eerie silence. The battle, if it could even be called that, was over. The green tide, so recently a raging torrent, had been reduced to nothing. Only the echoes of their passing remained, a faint whisper of what had been, quickly fading into the silence of the newly cleansed world. Orikan stood amidst the devastation, his form still radiating power. The transformation was receding, the celestial energies ebbing back into the wound in the sky. Soon, the tear in reality would close, and the stars would resume their eternal dance. But for now, he was left with the echo of their power, a lingering reminder of the cosmic forces he had wielded. He looked upon the cleansed world, his single eye burning with an icy fire. His task was done. The prophecy, etched in the stars since time immemorial, had been fulfilled. He had been the instrument, the weapon by which fate had been served. And he felt no remorse, no pity for the creatures he had eradicated. They were but obstacles, insignificant specks in the grand tapestry of existence. Their destruction was a necessity, a small price to pay for the preservation of something far greater. As the last vestiges of celestial energy faded, Orikan turned his gaze back to the heavens. The stars, his constant companions, his guides through the labyrinth of time, awaited. The future, as always, remained in motion, a swirling vortex of possibilities and potential, and he, Orikan the Diviner, was ready to face it, to unravel its secrets and bend it to his will. For he was more than just a Necron. He was a master of time, a weaver of fate, and the stars themselves whispered their secrets to him.